Hey y'all, my name is Taylor. I'm a therapist and I love metal music and I love Beartooth. If you haven't seen it, I did a reaction to their Sunshine music video and had a lot of mental health related content. But before we dive into all of that, I have to tell you about our support wall. Our support wall is a place where you can receive support for whatever you are going through, and our community will listen to you, will validate you, will empathize, and will respond with love and encouragement. Now, the cool thing about that is it doesn't just exist on a wall outside of this platform. You can actually use our support wall in the comments. So if anything I say resonates or you have something on your heart that you want to share, just comment below by tagging @HeartSupport, and the comment section turns into a support wall. Our community will provide love and support for whatever you're going through. So let's get into it. I am going to react to the new Beartooth song, which by the title is going to be a perfect song to talk about mental health. It's called Might Love Myself. Let's listen. 3, 2, 1.
Think I might love myself. Was overrated, and I don't know how to take it. Still chasing ghosts, I feel so unsure. And I sold myself a lie, still gave it one more try. Gave everything that I had and more. Couldn't happen to me, couldn't happen to me, couldn't happen to me. Then it took my body over, lost all my composure. Never felt quite like this before. Chemistry is changing, emotions rearranging. I'm out of my cage, breaking my spell. Think I might love myself. Trade my hope for pain, still hate who I became. How long am I gonna be young and lost? Might never feel right, never be clear, but nothing will change until I face my fear. Done paying the price without knowing the cost. Could it happen to me? Could it happen to me? Could it happen to me? It took my body over, lost all my composure. Never felt quite like this before. Chemistry is changing, emotions rearranging. I'm out of my cage, breaking my spell. Think I might love myself. Focused on the time, how I'm losing every minute. Gotta make a choice, gotta push it to the limit. Never felt better, never making an apology. I'm exactly who I wanna be! I'm exactly who I wanna be! Well, it took my body over, lost all my composure. Never felt quite like this before. Chemistry is changing, emotions rearranging. I'm out of my cage, breaking my spell. Think I might love myself.
Okay, I love it. Amazing. It is so good. Yeah, I think this song has such a strong mental health message. Okay. And I sold myself a lie, still gave it one more try, gave everything I had and more. I think the lie that Caleb is talking about here is that I will never get better. And that is something that I hear from patients who have struggled with any form of mental illness for a long time, but particularly anxiety and depression, is especially after they've tried a couple of things, maybe therapy for a little while, maybe some medication, maybe something else. And if it doesn't work, and it doesn't work a couple times, that belief of I will never get better gets a lot stronger. And as you keep trying and nothing keeps working, it gets more challenging to try again. And I love that he says, like, I still gave it one more try. And that is the hardest thing, but it is the only thing. And if what you were doing before and what you did before didn't work, that doesn't necessarily mean that that thing doesn't work and isn't going to be a part of your healing journey. It may just mean that it's not one thing that's going to be a part of your healing journey. It may just mean that you haven't found the exact concoction of what is going to help you feel better. Maybe it's a different therapist. Maybe it's going to a different kind of therapy. Maybe it's a different medication. Maybe it's doing therapy and medication at the same time. Maybe it's changing your diet while doing therapy and medication at the same time. But giving it one more try is something that I can encourage everyone, and I do encourage my patients to do. And when they show up and they tell me, like, I have tried everything, this is my last resort, I always remind them that they have to, although they're showing up as amazing, they have to allow this to expand. And what I mean by that is they can't expect that they're going to feel instantly better after one therapy session. Or that if this is the only thing that they do to better their mental health, that they're going to feel better at all. It's a process of finding what works well for you. And sometimes that takes time. But giving it one more try. I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try this. And giving yourself time, because it takes time. If you feel like you're hopeless and you're struggling and you feel like you are never going to get better, that's a hard place to be, and you don't have to be there alone. Share in the comments what you're going through. Share on our support wall, and we'll provide you with encouragement and support. Never felt quite like this before. Chemistry is changing, emotions rearranging. I'm out of my cage, breaking my spell. Something I notice a lot is progress is slow, and it's twofold. We often make progress in our minds. We understand things about ourselves. We understand things about our pain. We have awareness around it. But it takes time for that awareness and that mind knowledge about what we're experiencing to drop into our body and actually change our day-to-day experience. First, we understand what we're experiencing and why. Then, once that knowledge drops in, it starts to change our experience. And the understanding the what we are experiencing can be a really slow process, but sometimes the dropping in, I notice, is really sudden. I'll have clients often come to me after weeks or months of really working hard, really showing up and trying to understand their pain, and even getting to a point where they're like, this isn't helping, I don't feel any better, I'm showing up and I still feel awful. And then a few weeks later, they'll come in and they'll be like, I get it. Oh my gosh, I see it. I actually feel what we've been talking about, and I feel different. And it's almost sudden. It looks sudden, but the change wasn't sudden at all. It was slow. It was steady. It was just the dropping in happens at different rates, and often that is quick. And then we look back and we're able to see that it was all of these moments where we didn't feel like we were making any progress, that we kept showing up, that were actually the moments that made the big difference. And I think that's what this is about, is like, it's that sudden feeling of, oh my gosh, I think I love myself. Like, I've never felt like this before. I never thought it would happen to me. But suddenly, all of this awareness and all of this work that I've done has dropped into my body, and I actually feel it. And so if you are doing the work, I encourage you to allow the progress to be slow, to allow yourself to trust that even if you aren't seeing the results, progress is happening. It's like when you go to the gym. You might go to the gym for a few weeks, a few months, and you feel stronger because maybe the weights that you lift are heavier, but you don't notice that you look stronger. It's the same with our minds. We sometimes keep going, keep showing up, but we don't actually notice the change that really occurred in us until all of a sudden, one day, we just feel different. We feel lighter. So stick with it. I promise. It's a part of the process. It's totally normal. But if you feel like you're struggling to stay with it, comment below. I want to encourage you. Might never feel right, never be clear, but nothing will change until I face my fear. I love this acknowledgement of the change that I make might not have the outcome that I want. The change that I make might not make me feel completely better. But what I know is that where I am right now and what I'm doing right now isn't working, so I have to make a change. That is the first step towards change. Contemplation, acknowledging that there is a problem, is a step towards change. Now, there are more steps, right? There's preparation. There's what do I need to do in order to actually make that change? Do I need to make an account on a therapist website? Do I need to sign up for a gym membership? And then there is actually taking the action to do that change. And then there's maintaining that change. It's continuing to take the action of change. So it's not just signing up for a therapy appointment and then going one time. It's going again and again and again. And a lot of us get stuck in the contemplation phase of acknowledging there is a problem, but being afraid to take that actual step towards change through preparing and action and maintenance. And what we do when we only contemplate making a change is we rob ourselves of the possibility that that change could offer to our lives. If we don't try, we rob ourselves of the possibility that it can improve the life that we are living. And it is scary. It's really scary. But if you can acknowledge where you are in the process, are you contemplating? Are you preparing to make a change? Are you already starting to act on it? Do you just need to find a better way to maintain? Then you can start to know what the next stage is and work towards that. And you can acknowledge any blocks that you might have, any fear that you might have, and try to address that fear. If you are afraid of going to the gym, maybe you can enlist a friend to go with you so it feels a little less scary. Whatever your fear is around change, if you acknowledge it, you can maybe take steps to lessen your fear. But the truth is that if you're in a place of pain, if you refuse to make any changes, things likely won't get better. If you feel like something has to change, but you're not sure what, you're not sure how, or you're just scared to do it, comment below and tag at HeartSupport, and we'll encourage you. Thank you so much for listening. Again, if there's anything that you need support for, put it in the comments. I love Beartooth, and I love that Caleb Shomo is in his happy joy era and is making some of the best music, in my opinion, that he's ever made. So I am really excited about this. I can't wait for the album. And if you haven't already, watch our Sunshine reaction because we talk about the lyrics in that as well. Have an amazing day. I love you guys.